Welcome to my office. This is October of 2024, Cosmically Narrated. Okay, episode 4? Are we already on episode 4? Dang. Ooh, of 2024. We got sub 444. All right, sweet. Love that. Um, as per usual, we are just going to dive right in because I don't know. I feel like that is the only way for me right now to feel into like the intuition is personally, I'm an Aquarius, so we are in some like air energy with Libra season, and it's like, all right, let's not overthink some things. Let's be in the being and the doing. As we are also all simmering and starting to like, you know, think more about probably a lot. There are real things that are happening in this world right now that matter. And sometimes it's a lot to think about when we don't know what is going to happen or what the end result is going to be. So we have to we have to protect our minds, right? And if we feel any static or fogginess or muck or stickiness or just like like you're just really like you know, let's let's look at that. Let's look at that because let's bring something in balance here in this conversation with the planets that we get to really sense into this October of 2024. And because I'm recording this the day before October 1st, no, I don't have all the presentation slides done and, the whole thing all pretty. And that is fine because Libra was like, you don't even need that. You've embodied the message. So why don't you just pick up the mic and talk to the camera? All right, Venus energy. Venus is like, well, you just talk to the people. Trust yourself, okay? Just pick up that mic. You know what you're doing. Venus energy. Thank you. At home in Libra right now. Um well, actually the planet itself is in wait. Hold please. I just got something and I just love it when this happens. Okay. Mm. Mhm. Okay. So Venus is here, right? So Venus has the mic now. So Mars, remember when we talked a lot Mars and Gemini in I believe that was August. Um that was a big conversation. So Mars had the microphone for the most part. Like the planets are like, okay, and this is what I say. Okay, and this is what I say. Okay, this is here and this is what I say. And today it's like Venus has the mic and it's just Venus, which feels really good because I was feeling very much like, all right, how am I going to balance all these planets? And, there's this, that happens, this and this and this. And for me personally, looking at the presentation slides, it's like, okay, I can tell you logically, right? And tangibly where everything is. And Venus energy is like, okay, are we all ready to feel into it now? All right, everybody sit down. Let's sit with this. Okay. So this is going to be more about the being, the feeling, the doing. Doesn't mean you have to like literally do, something. It's just we're going to be more in our body, right? So, which is such a great thing for Libra, especially because we still have Mercury Libra too. And so things are just really balancing out, or hopefully, I'm feeling more like it's more of a balance in October. I remember August feeling stressful. I remember September being what it was. I felt like it was going to go quick. And like all of a sudden, we're here in October. Tell me why, Home Goods, you're showing me Christmas already. Like literally, the Halloween stuff is already on sale. And I'm doing this on Monday, September 30th. So they're trying to propel us to like, let me have Halloween. Let's just like, can we slow down? Right. So there's a little bit of that that is like just happening of like, okay, where are we now? Let me sit. Let me just, and whatever the sitting back, leaning back into something, the listening part of yourself feels more present in October, right? So the doing may be listening because that takes work. I don't think people realize, especially the talkers. Okay. I'm talking to you talkers out there. I used to be a talker. Now I am, I, I'm still a talker. I'm just like, I can't still say I'm a talker, but I've learned how important listening is. So when I would talk with really good listeners, the conversation's just different. It just hits different. You know what I mean? It's because like there are two people there, or like three, whatever the conversation, because there's a deeper presence and a deeper listening in the room with you. So that's going to be more of October vibes too, of like being and listening and like you'll get the mic, you'll get your time to talk. But Venus energy really is right now like sit back into the listening mode. Okay, so we're going to do that right now. I'm just going to take a moment because I feel like sometimes it takes a second to like really receive that and really like it's almost like lower back tension. Like how do you tell that lower back you can lay down, you can rest, you can let go. Even when you are laying down and you're like, oh, it still feels tight, or I still feel, there are a lot of emotions in the back and in the hips. I feel like we're going to really be allowing ourselves to be, to be real with ourselves in the kindest, gentlest way. Um, because there is the Saturn in Pisces is going to bring up some truth this month that I personally, when looking at everything, it felt more like a collective level. So there is this sense of it's gonna it's gonna be big, but it's not gonna feel as big as it actually is because there's so many people who are there and witnessing the feeling of like, this is for real. And I do remember feeling like, is this for real? Is this for real? And that was, that's right. That was the second week of no, third week of September. And there were things that happened. And sometimes I do wonder if I should name drop on this podcast of like the things that I am watching in the news or like in the like what's, especially pop culture right now. There is something is popping in pop culture. Okay. The bubble. That's what's popping. And people are starting to put their moral compass on and be like, oh yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what also might be happening October on a collective level. Somehow, whatever it is just going to shine a light on some truth that we need to know. I don't know what it is. Obviously, I don't live in the future. And I'm not predicting anything. It's just the feeling, right? Especially since I'm just coming off of like looking at all of the astrology so detailed and like being with each um week, right? So we're about 10 minutes in. This is good. So that's kind of the vibe. That feels like the vibe. So we're going to be in more of like we're gonna be in Libra's aesthetic. Okay. So we got because right now we're speaking very Libra right now, like aesthetic, but also being and also harmony, also some balance, also some real. Libras love it when you're real, but like do it in a way where you're like, oh my God, did she just read me? Like that kind of energy, like RuPaul, Drag Race, put your makeup on, put your looks on and have some fun. Have fun with this energy because Venus is not playing, okay? Venus is in Scorpio right now. Duh. Oh my God, duh. Like, and then it goes into Sagittarius, but that's not until the end of the month. So that was definitely that's the vibe. That's like the tone of of the month. But then we get into details. So the first detail, October 2nd, new moon, solar eclipse in Libra, right? So sometimes I'm going to be looking over here because I'm reading my notes. Okay. Um, so remember that full moon that happened September 17th. Remember when like a lot of shit was like, it was an intense week. Energetically, even it felt like, ooh, definitely like, ooh, all right, there is, ooh, it just felt like that, right? So now we're in the new moon solar eclipse in Libra on October 2nd. So there's going to be something was like, and just burped, right? Something needed to leave, something was like, all right, we're changing, we're we're going forward, moving up, elevating, evolutionary, revolutionary. We're choosing the uh we're choosing the choice of, yes, of course I could say like your higher self and blah blah, but I'm like, but what really is that? Because as much as we are, oh, higher and higher and higher, when in reality, you are getting more, hopefully, if you integrate it, you should be embodying these teachings of that elevation or of that feeling, that lightness, right? Because you have done your shadow work, because you're actually working at a deeper level that actually grounds you more and brings you more into your body because you're also moving through perhaps a shamanic journey of soul, like recovery, right? Of like recovering parts of your soul and who you are and looking at them and being like, we've come so far. Wow. I hold that with love and then we integrate it. You know what I'm saying? It's that sort of stuff that's happening on like a real level that is now tangible. And I think because thank God we're at such a cool generation and knowing that like we're like, energy is real, like, let's just like lean into it. Let's lean into this self-care. Let's lean into the potential of healing that can happen on a level that we may not ever fully understand, but there was a reason why all of these like big time artists, scientists, mathematicians, psychiatrists, masters of the mind, body, and soul were attracted to. And it taught them something, or it brought some love, Venus energy, information. Um, it was real, right? So there's some sort of like it's either an innovation aspect, it might be technology, who knows? Maybe it just could be that next level because we are this that's going fast. It's going fast. So we never know. We don't know. Okay, so that's October 2nd, right? So what are you, is there anything that's kind of throwing you off? Well, rule number one, what is it? What's throwing you off? Right? What makes you feel maybe that like, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling good. Ooh, wait a minute. What just happened? And now I feel a little different. Let me let me take a few steps back and see what happened, or like see what I was feeling, or if we are at the level of like, what was I thinking? Am I aware of am I even aware of my thoughts? Am I even aware of my thoughts? That's a real question. Because then you can catch your thought of like, oh, I literally, I was thinking that. Interesting. Gotcha. You know? Um, because you gotta, phew, so not everything you think is for real. Okay. Like, hello. So, when there's something like, mm-hmm. Okay. So now we get to October 4th. Okay. Got that Venus. Venus in Scorpio, trine, harmony, trine, triangle, Saturn in Pisces. Water, water. Oh my gosh. Venus, Scorpio, Saturn, Pisces. So it is all about hydration this month. Water, water magic, water energy, the appreciation of water. Like, really how much of a miracle water is, and how we need it, like, and that like we don't even know what's living at the very bottom of the ocean. We can't even really get there. Like, we don't have like the technology to totally go where like those really crazy like Arctic, you know, underground pyramids are, and like where beings probably live and do their thing. You know what I mean? Like, maybe, water energy. So that's October 4th, October 5th. All right. So it starts to feel, so right now it's kind of like funky and fun. But things start to get serious, like just at the end of the month. And it's not serious in a way of like critical, something bad. It's like, what are you wanting to be serious about? You can have fun, like, don't get me wrong, but like on a deeper level, how are we traveling to that real desire, that deeper desire that we have? For some people, it could be a career move, a it could be like a personal feeling, it could be having a child, getting married, all that traditional stuff. It could be approaching a decade, like a new decade, and just like, all the things. It could be redesigning, reconfiguring. It just feels like there's this makeover kind of vibe that like once you say, yeah, like I'm serious about this, like something happens that's really beautiful, and it gives you the opportunity to let go of maybe the past or the things that you have been trying to let go, work on, all the things, that inner work. Well, now it's like I've done the work. I feel confident in the work that I've done, right? So you can like put down the heavy things, especially, drop the heavy things if they're not yours right now. Drop it. Like, that's it. It's not yours. It's not yours. So drop it. Okay. So there's going to be this like understanding of something that is yours or is not yours, or like it could be on a collective level of what you know is to be true and what you know is not to be true. Like, Libras are for real. Like, they got the aesthetic and they got the taste and they know, but that does not mean like they aren't gonna like call you out. Okay. They're also truth tellers. So we got a lot of that this October. I will not bypass the fact that October 7th is going to be a year, right? So we are also aware of the unrest that has been happening for the past year, and what all of that has, the amount of death, the amount of people who have died, and how this is oh, we don't want this to get bigger. We don't want to drag more people into this situation. We want to come to peace with this situation. We want to figure out, okay, hold up, stop, ceasefire, stop it. Like for real, right? Can that happen? What is also like that needs to happen, right? So there's some truth. Leo just opened the door. Leo, did you open the door by yourself? Oh my gosh, that was really impressive. Hi, bud. Come in. How did you do that? I didn't even know you could do that. Leo can open doors. Good job. Oh my gosh. Oh, and then the door opens. Oh my gosh, that's actually pretty fun. Yeah. Great timing. Leo's got some great timing, man. Okay. So then we have October 8th. So October 8th. So I think because of what October 7th is, October 8th. So it feels like tension. There's going to be a lot of like upheaval, like just like calling it out for what it is. And um the unforgettableness of it, right? And numbers. How many how much money have we put into this? Who is providing what? And then what is happening to the things? Where are they going? Like kind of like the accountant um archetype on a like kind of like a galaxy level, right? Like I don't know what happens beyond my scope of practice, okay? But there are people who get to make these decisions, right? And we know more. We just know more. We know more of we know as much as we know. But October, so with all of that said, ceasefire, free Gaza, that's it. That's what I believe, right? So October 8th, Mercury in Libra, square Mars in Cancer. All right. And then, no, 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 no. No, that's the 5th. Oh, here we go. Okay, let me take a second with that. We're 22 minutes in. Okay. I like to see like why I lost my place or like why I thought that day was actually, I'm actually talking about that day. So it's the 5th that actually is going to be crunchy and it's going to feel crunchy the 5th, 6th, 7th, and then we get to the 8th. All right. Also, thank you, Venus Energy, for just like letting me, letting me be. You know what I mean? I think there's a lot to learn when it comes to how do you shift the energy like within a conversation and then how do you use that to your advantage, right? So pardon moi, that was all about October 5th. Okay, we didn't even get to the 8th yet. Okay, so this week, so the first week of October, take care of yourself. Honestly, take care of yourself, self-care it up still because it's going to be potentially a little crunchy. We also have a we also have a Jewish holiday. We have Rosh Hashanah. So yeah, the veil. If you hear like the veil's, thin or like the spiritual veil, it's gonna be a lot of um I don't know much about the celebration itself, so I'll have to do that research on my own. But just knowing that there is something else happening, right? That a collective of people participate in, right? So that's a lot of energy. So this week just feels, and because we're coming to the year, so there's just feels like there's potentially just, you know, the scales might be going shoo, 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 shoo. So October 8th. Gosh. Okay. So this first week, take care of yourself. Then we got to the second week. So now we're like technically in the second week of October. Venus in Scorpio, trine Mars in Cancer. And then Mercury in Libra, trine Jupiter in Gemini. Okay. So then we got some trines happening. Um, and then, okay. So when it comes to trines, it's like the three, right? The Trinity. It's a very meaningful and purposeful number. And we're going all symbolic this month of October. So look out for the symbols that either that you recognize, like there's just going to be more symbols around, I guess. Um, so then so then if we're aware of the symbols, right, we're going to get the messages. And sometimes you have to like get the symbols and the little breadcrumbs, right? And the little moments of aha, you know, for maybe other that thing that's going to come through at like, the end of the month on I don't know, on some level. Okay. So, Venus, what else are you feeling? What else are you wanting us to know? It's just about paying attention. It's just about paying attention and leaning back, being in that lean back and pay attention. That's it. What do you see? Is it true? Is it not true? Why? Ask questions. Be the little, detective. Um, and it doesn't have to be critical because we're not being critical of or judgment. We're not doing that. We're just data tracking. We're just taking note, right? We're just checking in. It's that kind of vibe. Because Pluto goes direct in Capricorn on the 11th. And that is also what I am experiencing of like, we've got some Mars and Cancer, we got water energy, a lot of this water energy. And then we got the Jupiter goes retrograde in Gemini on October 9th, right? So then we're going back and then we're going forward like a freaking race car the next day. Jupiter goes retrograde in Gemini. So October 8th, Mercury trine Jupiter in Gemini, right? October 9th, we got Jupiter goes retrograde in Gemini. October 11th, Pluto goes direct in Capricorn. And remember, last time this is ever going to happen in our human lifetime, right? So dynamic, like dynamic. That's the word. Okay, great. October 13th. So there's going to be a change. There's going to be a shift. There's going to be like, that's like, yes. Okay. So we've got the trickle. I feel the shift. And then like this like boomerang, like I guess boomerangs come back. So an arrow, right? Like just, and then Mercury enters Scorpio on October 13th. Now, I'm going to pause it right here for just a second. I'm going to look something up really quick. Okay. Thank you for your patience. I needed a sparkling water. That's so Libra. Oh my God, I love that. Okay, so then Mercury enters Scorpio. So then we're in this, then the vibe changes, right? So it's like, excuse me one moment, while I have a costume change, or like, excuse me, the vibe's gonna change in just a moment. Like there's some sort of like shift that's like for real, October 13th. There it is, right? So that's on a Sunday. Oh, ooh, that's on a Sunday. Oh, that's so nice. So those of us who have, I mean, hopefully if you have the day off on Sunday, bask in it. Oh, because on the 14th is Columbus Day. Is it? Oh, well, it's indigenous, isn't it? Indigenous Peoples Day. Well, this is what it says on the frickin' calendar that I bought. Anyways, most people have that day off, right? So there is going to be a settling in that Mercury enters Scorpio on the 13th. Hopefully you got a day off. It's Sunday. And then, but those who are working, we tip them very well and say thank you because they don't have the day off. Then on the 14th, it's a national day where most things are closed, right? So we've got another that leaning back energy. And on the 14th, a lot actually happens. The sun in Libra squares Mars in Cancer. So that beginning kind of feeling of like rah, rah, rah in the beginning of the week. After we do this like bow and arrow and we fly, I don't know, something happens. We're like, choop, you know? Then we got this sit back, lean back energy. Then it's all right. Sun in Libra, square Mars in Cancer, Venus in Scorpio, opposition Uranus in Taurus. I also realized I actually kept saying Uranus. And then I was like, whatever, but Uranus, thank you. Venus in Scorpio, opposition Uranus in Taurus. So take the day off. Just whatever that means to you, right? Take the pressure off. Put put the heavy things down. Will you just put it away? Or like, whatever that is, what is irritating or what is heavy or what's gotta go or what what is it? You know what I'm saying? Can we just put it down for one day and see how that feels? And then what? We probably feel rested and rejuvenated and we feel really good the next day, huh? Well, the next day, October 15th, Venus in Scorpio trines that Neptune in Pisces. And then Neptune in Pisces is so subconscious. It's like it takes a second, it simmers in there. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, that was deeper than I thought. Oh, how did that happen? That was magic. That was magic. Cool. Like if you've ever done like a hypnotherapy kind of like session or anything, or like you have a session with a healer and then like you have like either a crazy dream or like something whatever, and then you literally wake up the next day feeling different. That like it's going to be really direct, right? So that's the 15th. So it's something subconscious that's going to be like something has changed. Something has changed within me. Something is not the same. Quoting Wicked. Yes, I am. Can't wait to watch that. Okay. October 17th. So now, this is all coming up to kind of this moment, the real shift, the real shift. But kind of like, okay, that was like the like, all right, this is the middle kind of like where we're kind of sitting back and leaning. And then this is really where we're going. I'm gonna my little Buddha. Not even my little Buddha. This is my self-care Buddha. Look at all that nail polish. Get my nails done. Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Venus enters Sagittarius. Thank you very much. And that full moon in Aries, same day. And we got Venus in Scorpio, sextile Pluto in Capricorn. Like, feels so good. Such a great day. Such a great day. So it's like, like you're feeling like a really good day. And the first time in a while, if you've kind of been down in the dumps or like things are happening or a lot of work or like, you didn't get a lot of sleep. And then all of a sudden you have like one of those days where you're like, oh my God, I'm lit up. It's like, I understand all I need to go through all that stuff, but isn't it amazing when the light can just like be like, bing, and then it's like, wow, it was like that easy. Cool feeling. And then we move on to the 21st. Mercury in Scorpio trine that Saturn in Pisces. So now we're coming back to that Saturn in Pisces moment, right? Because let me look it up. Let me look it up. Do, 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 do. Bum, bum, ba-dum. So doing a callback to October 4th, right? That Venus in Scorpio trine that Saturn in Pisces. So way back then when it felt like you were a totally different person, right? Because now we're going to Mercury in Scorpio trine that Saturn in Pisces. And that Scorpio and that Pisces, they're like, welcome. How you doing? How you doing? Next day, October 22nd, the sun enters Scorpio. That sun in Libra squares just for a moment that Pluto in Capricorn, but that sun in Scorpio is like, welcome. It is Scorpio season now. And then it just gets super like, for me, it's like, yes. It's like it just feels you just get to totally be in the last week, right? Of October. Cause let's see, if that's the 22nd, that's on a Tuesday, right? So that's on a Mars day. And then we're really if you love Halloween, if you're kind of like, ooh, spooky, or like, like it just kind of feels fun because everybody's getting ready for some fun and celebration and kind of, if you celebrate Halloween or whatever, trick or treat, all the things. Super cute, dress up those little kids, take pictures, so cute. You know what I mean? Like something to look forward to. But we're looking forward to it and we're experiencing it kind of like being different. Like something has changed. Something is not the same. I don't know why I keep literally quoting Wicked, but yes, I'm gonna listen to that soundtrack actually now that I keep quoting it because it's so good. But something is not the same. So instead of focusing on the thing that changed, allow the change to happen, and then you get to clearly witness it and observe what happened as you're like basking in that like Scorpio, Venus in Sagittarius, flow. Like it just, we worked to get here, right? Those planets that were talking to us in July and August, even September, they were serious. They were like, we are serious. Here's the plan. And then came October and they were like, go ahead, just talk, Caitlin. Just go ahead and talk. I'm like, what do I know? Do I know what I'm talking about? Wait, shouldn't I need to have all the things? Just give her the mic. Just give her the mic and let her speak. Literally. It was just like, you, honey, you know what you're talking about. Just talk, okay? Just see the things. You already did the work. You did the plan, all the things. Now go out there and fly, right? That feeling. So the trust, the inner trust, the flow, the movement. Because Venus in Sagittarius, that's the philosopher. That's like you go, you do it. You know what I mean? You there's an intuition, there's an instinct, right? You just know like how to like, I don't know, like do your thing, like be in your spirit, be in your soul, enjoy it. So then we got like, that week. 24th, Mars in Cancer, sextile that Uranus in Taurus. You know what? Sometimes it's just funny. And so, but because I said it so much now, I'm like, Uranus, Mars in Cancer sextile, Uranus in Taurus, right? Then we have, so that's on what day is that? That's on the 24th. So that's a Thursday. Okay. So this week is going to be really spiritual. I think that's what it is. This week is going to be really like we're feeling the spirit. The week we're feeling the spirit, right? The Vesta enters Libra. I'm not really quite sure. Like that asteroid and I, like we're getting to know each other. So I don't really have much to say on it right now, but I do know there's a lot about devotion and spirituality when it comes to that. So that's why I'm like, oh, more spiritual energy. The 28th, we have the Mars in Cancer trying the Neptune Pisces. So again, that subconscious stuff that's like it's kind of like worked its way out. And like, so maybe you have more of that like spirit and flow that's just like available, seems available because it's always available. But something is happening, will happen. Totally like, that's just how things happen, right? That's going to have an access to some sort of like spiritual power, spiritual energy. Um, and the Venus in Sagittarius squares that Saturn in Pisces for a moment. But honestly, it feels really good to know that the Neptune in Pisces and the trine with that Mars in Cancer is happening at the same time. So it's like we just have like a lot of awareness happening at the end of the month. And then the 30th, Mercury in Scorpio. There is an opposition to that Uranus in Taurus, but it does not feel intense. Like that one's gonna be like, honey, that is nothing. Like it has been such a crazy few months that this month is like, oh my God, people are gonna be partying. People are gonna be feeling really good. Like, so, if you go out for Halloween and stuff, just like watch your drinks, like, take care of yourself, there's always, there's always there's always things around, like, just and then 31st Happy Halloween. Mercury and Scorpio trine that Neptune and Pisces. So we're going from like a lot of Libra. So I was accessing a lot of Libra at the start of this conversation, and then it went Scorpio. Then I was like, I'm trying to like can't really lean back in these like work chairs like comfortably. I don't know why they say that these are the chairs to have, and then I'm like, oh, but I'm trying to like put on my like Scorpio, like I'm just sitting back and like you know, flowy, I have graduated and I have done my shadow work. Here's your diploma sort of situation. And it's just more mm. Okay, so that's the month. Wow. That month feels so great. It really does. I don't know what the thing is like at the end of the month, right? It's not my business to know, but whatever is revealed is going to be revealed. And thank you for just going on this journey and this ride with me because I really wanted to just like go for it. And I allow the quiet, I allow the stillness, I allow the presence, and allowing like that moment of like, it's so quiet, you can hear a pin drop moment. And when that happens for me, boom, like, boom, that's where the magic lives. So we lived there for the whole month. We're here with the spirit. So that sounds great. And I do feel like as we are approaching November, I mean, really big things are happening, right? So when Leo opens the door, oh my God, how funny is that? He literally opened the door. I closed that. When Leo opens the door to new possibilities, right? But for real, because all the zodiac seasons, I may be talking about other planets and other energies, but that doesn't mean that all these other places have are alive, right? So maybe also access that Leo energy. See what doors need to be opened. Okay. If we're closing some doors, that means doors are opening. So, and all of this is up to you in a way, so the doors that you get to choose to close and you get to choose to open, do it responsibly and with your whole heart, and know that there are things that are going to happen this month. I mean, of course it is. So that's it. Okay, great. Happy October. See you in November. Whoa, I'm gonna be a different person by then.